More than half of American adults take dietary supplements regularly, often believe they're doing something good for their health. After all, supplements are marketed as natural and safe, but research tells a more complicated and at times troubling story. In the past 25 years, cases of liver failure linked to supplements have skyrocketed, increasing 8-fold. Today, supplements are blamed for nearly a quarter of all liver toxicity cases in the US, and in some of those cases, the damage was so severe that patients needed a liver transplant or didn't survive at all. So which supplements are the worst offenders, and how can you protect yourself? Weight loss and bodybuilding supplements are some of the most notorious when it comes to liver damage. I cover them in detail in another video, link in the description. But they're not the only concern. A growing number of reports point to other herbal supplements and even certain vitamins and minerals as potential causes of liver injury. While they're not as strongly linked to liver problems as weight loss products, the rising number of cases is worth paying attention to. By the way, I review a lot of supplements here, so subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated. And support me on Ko-fi if you enjoy the content. Aloe vera comes from the leaf of the plant, either the gel or the leaf rind latex. Aloe gel is sometimes eaten as a dessert, while the powdered extract from the latex are often used medicinally for things like constipation, digestive issues, weight loss, or general wellness. Most reported liver injuries are linked to the leaf rind latex, not the gel. These cases are rare, usually mild, and typically resolve once the person stops taking the product. Fatal cases haven't been reported, but researchers still don't know exactly what in aloe causes the problem. Ashwagandha is a popular herb in Ayurvedic medicine, used to boost energy, improve health, and reduce stress. It's generally considered safe, but recently there have been reports of liver injury in people taking supplements labeled as containing ashwagandha. Most people recover within 1 to 4 months of stopping the supplement, but the exact cause of liver damage is still unclear. Some researchers suspect compounds called withanolides, while others think contamination or adulteration with other toxic herbs may be to blame. Black cohosh is commonly used to ease menopausal symptoms and is thought to have estrogen-like effects. In controlled clinical trials, it hasn't been strongly linked to liver damage. However, products sold as black cohosh has been connected to over 50 cases of liver injury in real life. It's possible that some people are just sensitive to it, but in several cases, products were later found to contain a different herb altogether, Chinese Actia species, suggesting that contamination or mislabeling might be the real culprit. Butterbur is often used for migraines, allergies, and respiratory issues. The danger comes from compounds in the raw plant called pyrrolizidine alkaloids, which can damage the liver. Commercial Butterbur products are supposed to have these compounds removed, but some still end up contaminated. When liver problems occur, symptoms like nausea and jaundice usually show up within 2 to 12 weeks of starting Butterbur, and most people recover within that same time frame after stopping. Greater Celandine is a plant extract from the poppy family, often used in herbal medicine to treat indigestion and other stomach issues. Over a dozen reports from Europe have documented cases of acute liver injury linked to greater Celandine, but interestingly, no cases have been reported in the Americas. Researchers still don't know exactly what in the plant causes the liver damage. Kava Kava is used to treat anxiety, stress, and insomnia. It has been linked to some severe cases of hepatitis, including liver failure requiring transplants, and even death. The FDA issued a warning years ago but did not ban it. Later studies suggested that the worst cases were rare and often involved extremely high doses, raw unprocessed kava, or mixing it with alcohol. This led many countries to lift their bans, but more than 100 cases of liver injury have still been reported worldwide, reminding us that kava should be used cautiously and in moderation. Kratom comes from the leaves of a Southeast Asian tree and has opioid-like effects, which is why some people use it recreationally. Chronic use has been linked to rare cases of liver injury, although it's hard to say whether kratom alone is the cause, since many users also consume alcohol or other substances that affect the liver. Polygonum Multiflorum, also known as faux tea or Chinese knotweed, is a traditional Chinese herb used for centuries for a wide range of issues: back pain, dizziness, constipation, and even reversing gray hair. Unfortunately, it's also been linked to multiple cases of acute liver injury, particularly in China, Korea, and Japan. Most people recover quickly once they stop taking the herb, but about 10% of severe cases have resulted in liver failure requiring a transplant or even death. Researchers believe that certain compounds in the plant, such as emodin, may trigger an autoimmune response that attacks the liver. Red yeast rice is a bright reddish-purple fermented rice that's commonly used as a supplement to lower cholesterol. In controlled clinical trials, it hasn't been strongly linked to liver problems or elevated liver enzymes. However, there are occasional real-world reports of liver injury in people taking red yeast rice. Both the liver issues and muscle problems seen in some users are likely caused by lovastatin, the same active compound found in prescription cholesterol-lowering drugs, which in certain people can break down into a toxic byproduct in the liver. Turmeric is promoted for everything from joint pain to general inflammation relief. For years, both turmeric and its active compound curcumin were considered very safe, with no consistent reports of liver injury. But things changed when supplement makers started developing new ways to boost curcumin's absorption, using piperine from black pepper or special fat-based delivery systems. These high bioavailability forms were later linked to cases of liver injury. In some people, genetic factors may cause the immune system to overreact to curcumin, accidentally damaging the liver. The bottom line, turmeric is still generally safe, but very high-dose, highly concentrated supplements aren't risk-free. Skullcap is a Native American herb often taken as a tea or in supplements to help with anxiety, stress, and insomnia. It has occasionally been linked to liver injury, but investigations have revealed that some products were contaminated with other toxic herbs, like germander, or were mislabeled entirely. This means that some cases may not have been caused by true skullcap at all. Even essential nutrients can harm the liver if you take way too much. Most cases of vitamin or mineral-related liver injury happen after overdosing, either accidentally or intentionally. Normal doses in food or standard supplements are generally safe. Copper is an essential trace mineral found in many multivitamins. Most people don't need extra copper, but the small amounts in supplements are usually harmless. Problems arise with accidental or intentional overdose, which can cause acute or chronic liver injury. In children, copper poisoning can even happen from swallowing coins. Chronic liver damage also occurs in Wilson's disease, a genetic condition where copper builds up excessively in the body. Iron is vital for making red blood cells and is often included in supplements to prevent anemia. At normal doses, it's safe, but in high doses, whether by accident, misuse, or overdose, iron can be very toxic. Severe poisoning can cause acute liver damage, organ failure, and even death. Iron is considered a direct toxin to the liver, with injury occurring only after very high exposure. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin essential for vision, immune function, and healthy skin and bones. Normal amounts are safe, but taking very high doses, usually more than 40,000 IU per day, can be toxic. Hypervitaminosis A can also happen from eating too much liver from animals, like bears, seals, or cod. Excess vitamin A builds up in the liver and can lead to scarring, fibrosis, and eventually serious liver injury. Here's the bottom line. No supplement is completely risk-free. That said, millions of people take supplements every day without a problem. The real issue is unpredictability. Two people can take the exact same product, same brand, same dose, and have completely different outcomes. One might feel great while the other develops liver issues, simply because of genetics, pre-existing health conditions, or other medications they're taking. So no one's saying that these supplements are guaranteed to wreck your liver. But if you happen to be one of the unlucky few, you could be quietly causing liver damage without knowing it, until it becomes a serious problem. So what's the safest approach? Keep it simple. Only take supplements you truly need. Choose reputable brands. Stick to reasonable doses. And always check what's actually in the product. Think of supplements like you would medication. They can be helpful when used with a purpose and proper medical guidance, but they're not something to experiment with just because you saw a viral video on TikTok about them. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Yeung. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you know someone who could benefit from this, please share it with them. Finally, if you enjoy what we do and want to learn more, consider supporting us on Ko-fi, and be sure to check out our other socials as well.